Hey y'all, it's me. I started to do another short and just show you what's happening with the porch. And I understand that a lot of you aren't going to be interested in any of this. I'm all sweaty. But those of you that are, I just want to carry you with me on this little journey because I'm excited about it. It's something that I've thought about off and on for the past couple of years since we moved up here. And it's finally coming to fruition. And so I just want to, those of you that are interested in tagging along with me, actually, and sending me some advice. I'd appreciate the advice. Let me get a drink. Hold on. Yes, it's Pepsi. Bad, I know. I need to make some tea. I love tea, and I'll drink tea unsweetened without any kind of artificial sweetener in it either. I just kind of like the bitter taste. So I do much better when I keep the tea made. I don't have any tea made right now. But anyway, Aaron and Corey came over and spent a couple of hours this morning, and that was nice. We enjoyed having them, and they got some pumpkins out of their garden, and I sent them with a bunch of the pumpkins from my garden. I kept some for the small ones. I had the little sugar babies, and those I will roast and scoop all the pulp out for pumpkin pies. The bigger ones will mostly just go to feed chickens. They love they love pumpkin. They love. I might get the seed out and roast the seed, but I haven't done that in so many years. I'm not sure I really remember. But then that's when you just YouTube it, right? There's a video for everything. All right. I wanted to show you a couple of things. I haven't checked my teeth. I hope I've not got grody teeth. All right. And I keep saying all right. I'm sorry. Just really tired. I needed this break. So thanks for making me take a break. I've shown you all what we're doing. Let me see. Let me turn this around so I can. What we're doing with that area over there, and I'm not certain you'll even be able to see it because it's just in pencil. Let me lower my camera down. This is not going to be a very good production, but okay. Now let's see. I've shown you how this will be. The driveway will be circular over in that area, and the parking area will be down here. This is, imagine this is where the little building is that we're putting the animal feed in and the gardening tools. Well, that'll be where Hugh's truck parks, and then where my car parks, and all of the rest of these. None of them is to scale, but that will be, you know, the raised beds back here in this corner. And Hugh helped me measure this morning. That will actually accommodate that great big greenhouse frame that's over in the field. And then coming out beside it will be raised beds all the way around going toward the fence. I had that planned differently before, but I think I'd like to have the greenhouse actually right here in the yard so it can be accessible for growing, you know, winter vegetables. Just using it close by where I have access to a hose and we don't have to use the big tub. So anyway, that's kind of a bird's eye view, I guess, of that area over there. And that's a big area. Hugh and I measured it a year or two ago, and if I remember correctly, it was about 60 feet by 70 feet. So it's pretty good little size area. And then Hugh, if you can see, has actually started cutting my posts. This is the bad end up here. The posts won't be, they'll be being cut off somewhere way down here. But he's got the posts cut all except for one. He has one more to cut, and he has started on the 2x4s. So let me, if this will tilt down far enough. It won't, but let me see. I know what I'll do. Bear with me a minute. I'll use my chair has a little desk. Move my things out of the way. And got some paper out so I could kind of draw it a little bit. Now, let's try this. Okay, can you see? All right, now let's pretend that this is the floor of the porch. Oops. And this is up here at the ceiling. And then on either end of the front, there'll be a 3 by 6 post coming down, and then 3 by 6 post coming down there, and then a 3 by 6 post coming down right in the center. And then I'm going to divide that out and bring another 3 by 6 post. So there'll be 5 across the front. And then on the outside and on the inside, there'll be a 2 by 4 going across. So imagine that's a 2 by 4 on the inside of that post and on the outside of that post. And then maybe another 2 by 4 on the inside and the outside. Maybe over here we'll just have a shorter 2 by 4 just over these posts. And then down here, let me see, we'll have another 2 by 4 across those 2 posts. And then over here, let's say we just have one across there. And then we'll have one across the middle. Well, as you can see, it's just going to be kind of really random. And there's a reason for that. And let me show you what my reasoning is. All right. So imagine if I then build little shelves on top of those 2 by 4s, and I have in these big spots, say I have hooks to hold a little plant, okay? And say up here I have another hook to hold another little plant. Say I have just some little pots, and let's do a little hanging basket right there. And then, let me see, we'll have a big pot up here. And then, let's do a really big pot up here, right there. And then down here we've got a small pot and a tall pot and a little pot. And let me see. Let's do a long rectangular pot right there. Okay, and well, you get the idea of what I've got in my head. It's going to be a plant wall. And of course, when all of those things have beautiful greenery coming out of them, and it's not so beautiful, but you get the idea. All right, and all of them will probably have some kind of plant in them, some size of pot, whatever, and some flowers. I only brought orange, so there's going to be a lot of orange flowers. Okay, so does that make sense? That's my vision for, it's not a very pretty vision on paper, but in my mind it's just spectacular. So that's what I have planned for the front of this porch. Now let's take a little walk. Okay, so all along through here, and so it will be kind of like a little privacy fence. And then from the new post right there over to right here where the steps will come down, the new steps, it will have a little railing and then a little handrail going down beside the steps. But this little section right here will just be a nice little place for a breakfast table, because I've always envisioned that. Even when my mother-in-law lived here, she had a little breakfast table out here, and I just always thought, I always just thought that would be such a nice place to come out on a nice spring morning and drink coffee and write in your journal. Just look at the beauty of these crazy little mountains. I think I felt a drop of rain. But anyway, let me take you around to the front. And see, that's where the plant wall will be. And you can see, I mean, this porch has desperately needed to be redone for a long time. It's buckling down on that end. Of course, Hugh says that it's not unsafe. It's not like it's going to completely buckle. There's enough support inside the wall itself, but it makes me nervous, so I want a new support right there. But I did finish getting everything, all the weeds taken care of. I got my my dirt all smoothed down. That's all that compost, and there's some nice worms like I told you earlier. And I'm not going to put the lattice back. I like it without the lattice. I think that just looks like an old porch. Of course, it will be painted when I get everything scraped off and sanded down. And I'm putting this mulch. He brought me a container of mulch. I'm putting this mulch, I'm going to go ahead and put it in underneath of the porch right there, so that I don't have to worry about any weeds growing up in there. But the black, that black fabric will cover the entire bed. It will eventually cover all these beds as I get them cleaned up, but it will cover this entire bed for the whole winter. And by doing it right now, we've got enough nice hot days left so that I can take advantage of these hot days, just taking care of any weed seed that are still in there. So, see, I haven't started on this bed other than Hugh's done a little weed eating, but that's what's happening. I'm rather excited. I've got lots to do inside, but I'm thinking inside sounds more like winter. These fall days, see, that's the thing. My favorite time to work outside is in the spring and in the fall. This summer has been so exceptionally hot. And let me turn you back around and adjust the height. But it has been such an exceptionally hot summer for everybody, including us. I know that our summer wasn't nearly as hot as some of y'all have dealt with out west, and I hate that for you. I hate that for you. But for me, with my crazy little thyroid conditions, I can't even handle these 90 some whatever degree days, and so early morning or late evening is kind of it. So this week has actually been the first week that I've been able to go outside in the middle of the day and just dig around and poke around and do a few things that I want to do. So it makes me happy. It does. You gardening girls will understand completely. And I do want to make a point. In some of the shorts, I've had a couple of comments about as though, you know, it saddens some of you to see me getting rid of the things that Corey had planted. I think maybe some of you don't quite understand what an annual is. Um, an annual is a plant that is there for one season and then it's done. And you have to, if you want that same plant there next year, you're going to have to replant it. So I didn't get rid of anything that, oops, let me dismiss that. Um, I didn't get rid of anything that would have produced again. The plants that I got rid of were finished for the season pretty much. There was a few blooms here and there, but my goal right now is to get these flower beds cleaned out. Or these, it's not going to be a flower bed any longer. It's going to be a kitchen garden. But get them cleaned out, get the mulch or the compost down, get the black plastic over it so that the weeds will be totally suppressed. By next spring, I won't have to worry about them. And at that point, I'll make a decision of, am I going to leave that black plastic? And I'm not a real fan of it, but I may leave it for just a couple of years. I'll just cut down through it to plant my plants in. And if I leave it on that garden, and then I'll use the mulch and mulch over it. If you use black plastic to suppress weeds and then you plant in it, you really, really, really need to use mulch over top of it, some kind of mulch, to just keep the black from burning up your plants when the weather gets warm, because it will. That's it. It draws the heat from the sun. So you don't want to use it in really, really hot weather, not without anything over top of it to kind of protect your plants from that heat. So I'll leave it probably for a couple of years, and by the time, if I make a decision then to pull it out, I can just, move the mulch aside a little bit and use my scissors and cut it and just pull it out in little sections. And the weeds should be pretty much gone, and I'll have to stay ahead of the weeds at that point. But it's not, the weeds aren't a big deal once you've got them suppressed and you've killed the roots and all that sort of thing. As long as you take care of them a little bit every day or several times a week anyway, you can stay ahead of them. But yeah, now I'm excited and I'm wanting to, and I know there's so many things that I need to wait till winter to do. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You just would prefer doing the things you'd rather do instead of the things that need to be done. And right now I still need to finish cleaning the basement, but that's something that can still wait until winter. I'll have all winter to take care of that. I've got shelves started down there. I've moved my canning shelves, so all my new beans and tomato sauce and everything like that, we've carried it down and it's on the shelves. I'll take you guys down and show you when it's a little bit cleaner down there. But I'm building shelves around the walls to just get everything up off the floor. I think if I had everything up off the floor and I could use my shop vac and just vacuum down there, it would be a more pleasant area. Right now it's just gets on my nerves. It really does. And we've got to get a dehumidifier for down there because part of the walls, have they're about 5 feet tall, because that basement was hand dug. Hugh's daddy hand dug that basement over the course of several years, and when he reached a certain point, the house was built on big, I think it's hickory blocks. At some point, I can take you down and show you it. There is a video of that in one of Aaron's old videos, and it's just cool because there's these just big tree stumps that the house was built on, and so he would dig back to a certain point, and then he would build a block wall. So there's places down there, there's like a block wall and then a shelf that goes on back further under the house a little bit with, the dirt floor there on that shelf. That's perfect for a root cellar. I will absolutely make use of that for storing pumpkins, and we did last year. We put our pumpkins back there. We still have some pumpkins that are fine. So it's a perfect place for a root cellar. I'm going to, paint out the windows. There's just some of the little teeny tiny windows down there that are never opened for anything. but they let a little bit of light in, and so I am going to paint those out black or put some kind of a little curtain or something over top of them, and so there's not any light at all coming in those windows. And it's a good space down there. It just needs to be organized and cleaned up. And my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, they were fanatics about keeping it organized and cleaned, um, back before both of them started having health issues. And I mean, I know that I can't tell you how many times we would come over here during the course of the summer, and my sister-in-law would be down there with borax and boiling water and scrubbing the basement floor and using her little shop vac and vacuuming it up. And that's probably a little further than I'll go, but I would like to be able to at least keep it vacuumed out or swept out or something. Um, there's just a lot of things that I have a vision for in this old house that takes time. Everything takes time, but I like for space to be used wisely. So that's my goal. I want to very carefully think things out and build shelves where there's a need for shelves, and get rid of things that are no longer valuable as far as having a need for, and just paring down, and so that you can breathe a little easier. We still have a lot of my mother-in-law and sister-in-law's things here that were things that they used and were important to them, but they're things that I'll never use. And so I'm going to find a home for them, probably through we've donated a whole lot of things already to Habitat for Humanity. I like that organization. I like what they're doing. So we'll probably pass along a whole lot more of the things that need to find a different home. And I think that's kind of all. I just wanted to chat with y'all. It seems like all I've done lately is just the videos of canning and gardening something. Everything's been a gardening process. So today is just kind of a construction process. I'm very excited about it. Still gardening because it's going to be a plant wall. But I just wanted to let you know what I'm going to be spending the fall doing. And of course, the art videos are absolutely in amongst the mix. They're a priority, so I haven't forgotten about those, and they're coming. This is just some physical activity for me, because I do need the physical activity, and pretty soon we'll be walking occasionally. I probably won't walk a lot up at the graveyard until the weather gets cooler, because as long as the weather's nice, I can get all the exercise I need right here, and then some. My hands hurt so bad last night I actually had to wear my support gloves, and I put that Amish cream on it. The Amish cream that smells like menthol, but I like that stuff because it tingles. It doesn't burn like the icy hot. That stuff's too much, but this stuff tingles. So it tingles enough to kind of take your attention away from the pain. So I put that on and let it dry. Then I put on my support gloves, and I had my arms up on pillows for support, and went to sleep. So I slept all night with my arms supported, and this morning I woke up and they're not hurting too badly. So they needed a bit more of a break today. But anyway, what else did I want to tell y'all? There was something else. Oh, I'm finished with the gardening pretty much for this year, other than some little pumpkins. I still have some. Aaron and Corey, as they picked today. Let me turn you back around. They took pumpkins and stuff. They went ahead and brought some of my pumpkins over and left part of them in the garden. But I have some of the little, what are they called? Sugar babies, I think. And the little sugar babies will be just cut in half and roasted in the oven and bagged up, put in the freezer to make pumpkin pies. That's Huey's favorite dessert ever. He loves pumpkin pies. But you can see there's a little bit of work. That's all I have left. Hey, baby. Hey, kitty kitty. Hey, sweet one. These babies are so sweet. But those just need to be cleaned up good, cut in half, and get my pumpkin seeds out and see if I can find a recipe. If any of y'all have a great recipe for roasting your pumpkin seeds, send it to me. But other than that, I think, if I remember correctly, all I do is just cut those in half, turn them with the open part down on a cookie sheet, a little bit of water, and let them roast in the oven until they're easy to poke with something sharp. Let them cool, and then scoop the flesh out. Let that cool. Put them in freezer baggies, and there's your pumpkin for pumpkin pies. But anyway, all right, y'all. I appreciate you hanging out with me. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but things are moving along, and it's fall of the year. The weather's getting beautiful and cool enough to be outside in the middle of the day. That makes me so happy. But I love y'all, and I will definitely probably do a whole lot of little shorts while I'm in the process of working on this porch. Just so those that want to keep up with the daily little blips on it will know what I'm doing. But I hope y'all are having a wonderful, wonderful day and the rest of your weekend. And I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.